again, guys. All right, math time. Time for lesson 29, session 3. I'm on page 611. All right, 3-read problem. Marco, Javier, and Jim go to a party. Marco brings 1.5 liters of lemonade. Javier brings a 2-liter bottle of lemonade, and Jim brings 450 milliliters of lemonade. How many milliliters of lemonade do the boys bring to the party in all? And they give you the hint that 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So, important information. 3 people. Marco brings 1.5 liters. Hopefully the yellow highlighter shows up okay. Javier brings 2 liters, so he brings a little bit more than Marco. And then Jim brings 450 milliliters. Okay, so we have to do a little bit of conversion because Marco's amount is in liters, Javier's amount is in liters, but Jim's amount is in milliliters. So we need to convert everything into milliliters. So it tells you 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So let's see, we'll do Marco first. Okay, his was 1 1/2 liters. And I know that 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters, so this 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. Remember, milliliters is a little lowercase m, uppercase L, and the half a liter right there. So if 1 full liter is 1,000 milliliters, what would be half of a liter in milliliters? Half of 1,000 is 500 milliliters. So you combine both of those to get the 1.5. So 1,000 plus 500 for the half. Add those together, you'll get 1,500 milliliters. Okay, and then Javier brings 2 liters. So Javier has 2 liters. So if 1 liter is 1,000, 2 liters will be 2,000 milliliters. And last one, Jim just brings 450 milliliters, so no conversion. Jim, 450 milliliters. He brings a lot less than the other 2 friends, right? All right, so they're asking us how many milliliters of lemonade do the boys bring to the party in all? So all 3 together, how much lemonade do they bring? I need to add all 3 of those together. So I'm gonna stack them by place value. 450. Okay. So you can do like 2 at a time if you want, or just stack all 3 of them. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 5 plus 4 is 9. And 2 plus 1 is 3. So our answer is 3,950 milliliters of lemonade. Ta-da! Problem 1 done. Turn the page, please. Okay, on the back, they go through and show you some pictures and different strategies that you could have used to solve the problem. They did a pretty cool picture of 1.5 liters of lemonade here that Marco brought, the big 2-liter bottle that Javier brought, and the little 450 milliliter bottle that Jim brought. And then they show a table here on the bottom of the page, the given volume, so that's what they gave us, the given information in the problem, so 1.5 liters, and then they converted it to whatever it was in milliliters, which we did on the other side. So the 1.5 liters equals 1,500 milliliters, 2 liters equals 2,000 milliliters, 450 milliliters obviously equals 450 milliliters. So once you have all those, you can just add them all together to find the total. Okay, page 613, we have some questions to answer about that problem and the strategies. Let's get that centered first. Okay. Number 1, use the amounts of lemonade given in the problem to write an equation that shows the total amount of lemonade, T, the boys bring to the party. So we need to have an equation with the answer equals T. So T equals, and that's the total lemonade. So we need to use the amounts of lemonade given. So I can't use the milliliters, the converted amount, so I can't do 1,500 plus 2,000 plus 450. I have to use what they gave us in the problem. So it was 1.5 liters plus 2 liters, oops, forgot my liters, plus 450 milliliters. Okay. And number 2, what units are included in the equation? We have both liters and milliliters. And I'm gonna write that out, liters and milliliters. It's a lot of L's and I's. Okay, number 3, look at the table and model it. So the table on this page. Explain how to convert 1.5 liters to milliliters. Okay, so they give you like very little space, but I would kind of rewrite what we did right here with my arrows. So the 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters and a half liter equals 500. So 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters and half a liter equals 500 milliliters. So 1.5 liters equals 1,500 milliliters. That cut off the end of the problem, sorry. There we go. Okay, there's a good explanation, but then it's asking a different amount. So how many milliliters are in 2 liters? So that was the amount that Javier brought, the bigger bottle, the 2 liter bottle. So how many milliliters is that? You just multiply that times 1,000. So 2,000 milliliters. Okay, and then number 4, what's the total amount of lemonade that the 3 boys bring to the party? That was just our answer on the previous page. I think it was 3,950. 3,950. The total amount of lemonade they brought is 3,950 milliliters. And then it says to explain. Convert the amounts to milliliters and then add. Okay, that's all we did. We converted the amounts to milliliters and then we added them together. Awesome. Okay. Number 5, explain how to solve a problem about liquid volume when measurements are given in different units. So that's just what we did when we have some amounts in different units. So some of the ones we had were in liters and some were in milliliters. So you need to explain how do you go about doing that. Okay, so basically it's really similar to what we just said here. Don't just draw an arrow though. So first you have to convert the amounts, the units, so that they're all the same unit, because we can't add liters plus milliliters like this, because I can't do 1.5 plus 2 plus 450. That answer would be bonkers, okay? That would not be anywhere near the 3,950 that we needed, okay? So first you have to convert the units so that they're all the same unit, like we changed them all into milliliters first. Then once everything is the same units, you can add or subtract or multiply or whatever you need to do for your problem. Okay, so you can write down your explanation for that one. And for the reflect it, like always, what is your favorite strategy for solving these type of problems? You can talk about the equations and stuff we did on the first page, or you can say that the pictures are your favorite, or making a table like this is super helpful in the model it. A table that gives you the amount in liters and milliliters, whatever was given to us, and then how they changed it to milliliters on the other side. So explain whichever one is your favorite, and then unpause and turn the page. All right, number 7. Joanne is making punch. She uses half of a gallon of orange juice, 3 quarts of lemonade, and 1 1/4 gallons of apple cider. That sounds really gross, Joanne. That does not sound like those 3 things go together. Anyway, how many quarts of punch does she have in all? So they want us to figure out how many quarts. So we need to change everything to quarts. And in all tells me I need to find the total amount of punch. Oh, and another question. How annoying. Just kidding. It's fine. How many 1 cup servings are there in all? So they're asking me to solve 2 different things. I need to change everything to quarts, but I also need to change it into cups. Okay? So let's do some math. I'm gonna make a table. You guys can copy my table or you can use a different strategy, but I think a table is gonna be the most clear since we have gallons, quarts, and another thing in gallons, and we need to change everything to quarts, but we also have to change everything into cups. It's just gonna be a lot of just jumbled work right here, unless we do it kind of in a nice little table, okay? So forgive my lines that are not gonna be straight because where I'm recording, I have to sit at a weird angle so that this all fits in the screen. Okay, I'm gonna just do it right like that so far. I have this side in my top because kind of like our division area models, I don't know how large I need to make my table yet because of my labels and stuff. So my first column in my table is going to be the given volume. So how much did she have to begin with? Okay, so all my titles will go up in this bar right here. So given volume, first she has half a gallon of orange juice. So half gallon. And then that'll be my first row. And then I have 3 quarts of lemonade. Not a bad table I'm freehanding. Okay, and the last one was 1 1/4 gallons. Guys, are you seeing this? I think I need to tear this out and frame it when I'm done. Okay, so that's the given volume. They gave us those amounts. Now we need to change it into a column that's all converted into quarts, and then another one that's all these converted into cups. So we're gonna say volume in quarts. That'll be that column, and then the other one, volume in cups. Okay, look at that. I made it like almost perfect length. Okay, so now I have to actually convert it. And if you need to pause to finish your table or to find a ruler or something to fix it a little bit, go ahead. So now I need to change my given volume, so this half a gallon, into quarts and change it into cups. So they do give you the hint that 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. So let's just look at that one for now. So let's ignore the second half where it says 1 quart equals 4 cups. Don't worry about that yet. Just this one. 1 gallon is 4 quarts. Okay, so half a gallon is going to be how many quarts? If 1 whole 1 equals 4, half is going to be 2. So 2 quarts. So half a gallon equals 2 quarts. So 3 quarts equals how many quarts? Obviously that one's in quarts already. We don't need to convert it. We don't need to change it. It's already there. 3 quarts equals 3 quarts. And then 1 1/4 gallons. So the 1 gallon equals 4 quarts, but this 1/4 gallon is going to be 1 extra quart. So it's going to be the 4 and the 1 extra. So that equals 5 quarts. Okay, so I'm good with the quarts. Now I need to change all my given volumes into cups. But I could also, I'm going to use this hint, 1 quart equals 4 cups, because now I have everything in little nice quarts instead of dealing with this like half gallon, 1/4 gallon right there. I'm just going to convert this column into cups. So they give you the hint here, 1 quart equals 4 cups. So I'm going to multiply all my amounts here by 4 to get my volume in cups. So 2 quarts times 4 equals 8 cups. Okay, and 3 quarts times 4 equals 12 cups. And 5 quarts times 4 equals 20 cups. Okay, so next step is actually answering the question. I have all my information here. How many quarts of punch does Joanne have in all? So here it is in quarts. What's the total of all this? There's 2 plus 3 plus 5. So if you need to do that on the side, use your fingers, whatever you need. But you can say Joanne has 10 quarts, period, because 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 5 more is 10. And then that's the first question. So we did the first question done. How many 1 cup servings are there? So how many cups are there in all? So if you add these 3 columns, if you need to do that on the side, you can do it again. 8 plus 12 is 20. 20 plus 20 is 40. So I'm going to say that is 40 cups. Okay, nice. That is like the neatest work I've ever done. I'm going to frame it. Okay, 1 star for showing your amazing work in your table, and let's do 2 stars for the answer because it's technically 2 sentences, 2 answers. Okay, number 8. Okay, Matt has 4 3/4 cups of milk. He drinks 10 fluid ounces of the milk. How many fluid ounces of milk does Matt have left? So I know I'm going to be subtracting because it's asking how much is left, but he starts out with 4 3/4 cups, and then he drinks 10 fluid ounces of it. How much does he have left? And they give you the hint that 1 cup equals 8 ounces. So he starts out with 4 3/4 cups. So 4 cups, I need to multiply because 1 cup equals 8 ounces. So 4 cups times 8 ounces equals 32 ounces. But this 3/4 of a cup, so it's not even 1 full cup. So it's not going to be 8 ounces. 1/4 of a cup, well, 1/4, or 1/4 of a cup equals 2 ounces. So 3/4 of a cup equals 6 ounces. Okay, so 4 3/4 of a cup together, both of those, you add those up, equals 38 ounces. So he starts out with 38 ounces. But then he drinks 10 ounces of it. So how much is left? So if he drinks 10, we're subtracting 10 ounces from what he started with. Okay, so 8 minus 0 is 8. 3 minus 1 is 2 ounces. So he has 28 ounces left. Matt has 28 ounces left. It's a lot of milk, Matt. Let's hope you're not lactose intolerant. Okay, 1 star for showing your work, 1 star for your answer in a sentence. And then last problem. Number 9. Carlos from Miss Ball's class makes 3 liters of horchata. Raise your hand if you've ever had horchata. It is a drink. You can usually get them at like Mexican restaurants. It's amazing. Once restaurants are open again, go drink horchata at like Plaza or somewhere. So good. It's like sweet and cinnamony. I don't know how to even describe it. It's super good. Anyway, he makes 3 liters of it. His sister drinks 300 milliliters. His brother drinks 550 milliliters. How many milliliters of horchata does Carlos have left? So how much remains, which means I'm subtracting. And they give you the hint that 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So we have to convert what he made in liters into milliliters. So 3 liters equals 3 times 1,000, 3,000 milliliters. Then the amounts that his siblings drank is already in milliliters, so I can just subtract those numbers from what he started with. I could do it all in one nice equation too. So I'm gonna, there's my little hint on the side. Let's just leave that over there so I can tell it's not part of my equation. But he started with 3,000 milliliters, and then I'm gonna subtract the total of what his siblings drank. So I'm gonna put that in parentheses. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but one of my cats is at the door trying to break in. Anyway, 300 milliliters plus the 550 milliliters in parentheses. So I'm gonna find the total of what they drank first and then subtract it from how much he made. So 300 plus 550, you can do it on the side or you can do it in your head. They drank 850 milliliters. I'm gonna drop down the rest of my equation. 3,000 minus 850. So that I can't do in my head accurately, or it would take me longer than just showing my work. 0 minus 0 is 0. I can't do 0 minus 5, so I'm gonna regroup. Okay, 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 8 is 1, 2 minus nothing is 2. So that's how much he has left. So in my sentence, I'm gonna say Carlos has 2,150 milliliters left. Handwriting is failing. Okay, 1 star for showing your work, 1 star for your sentence. All right, and then we're on the practice page. I feel like this is going by fast. Maybe not. All right, if you would like to read through and challenge yourself with the example problem, or go challenge a family member with the example problem since you have the answers, go for it. We're moving on though to this problem right here. Benny has 2 small fish tanks with 1 fish in each tank. One tank has 3.5 quarts of water, The other has 12 cups of water. Benny combines the water into 1 large fish tank and with both fish in the large tank. So first tank has 3.5 quarts of water. Second tank has 12 cups of water. And then he puts it all into 1 big tank with both fish. And hopefully the fish like each other. So how many cups of water are in the large tank? So both together. So I need to convert. So this kind of looks like a mess, but if you just look at it 1 line at a time, we can handle it. I use my sticky note to kind of try and separate it out a little. Okay, so 3.5 quarts. So they're separating it. They're just looking at the 3 of the 3.5. So 3 quarts times 4 cups equals 3 times 4 is 12. And the 1/2 they are getting from right here. So they did the 3. Now we're looking at the half. So 1/2 of 4 cups is, so what's half of 4? 2 cups. Okay. All right, so 3.5 quarts equals how many cups? So that means we need to add this and this. So the 12 plus the 2 equals 14 cups. So just looking at that, 3.5 quarts equals 14 cups. So that 14 cups right there, plus the second tank, the 12 cups from the second tank equals how many total cups? So 14 plus 12 equals 26. So that's the first tank, that's the second tank, and then both together equal 26 cups together in the large tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars for every blank in that problem. Okay, number 2. At least 5 cups of water are needed for each fish in a tank. Oh, we're still talking about Benny. Okay. How many more fish would Benny be able to put in the large tank? Okay. So there's 26 cups of water. He needs 5 cups for each fish. So let's divide. I can figure out how many fish he can get. So 26 cups of water divided by 5 cups. So if I count by fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 is as close as I can get to 26 without going over. So equals 5, remainder 1. Okay, so that means the tank can hold 5 fish with 1 cup left over. So the tank can hold 5 fish, but he already has 2, right? So he has 2 small fish tanks, 1 fish in each tank. So the 2 original tanks each had a fish, so he had 2 fish to start with. If he can have 5 total, how many more fish would Benny be able to put in the large tank? So he can get 5, he already has 2, so he can get 3 more fish. 3 more is your answer. 1 star, and then turn the page. Last page. Okay, number 3. Miss Tam has 3 containers to use in an experiment. The first container has 600 milliliters of water, the second has 2 liters, and the third has 1.5 liters. How many milliliters does Miss Tam have in all? In all means adding. Show your work. 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. I'm gonna make another table because it went so well the first time, but I only have to convert once. So I'm gonna have my given volume again, so the amount they told me in the problem. Not as straight a lines this time, Mrs. Flitton. Okay, and then I want to convert everything into milliliters. So volume in milliliters. Okay, not really frameable, but still good. So the first container has 600 milliliters of water. So 600 milliliters. And then the second one has 2 liters. And the third one has 1.5. That's the same as 1.5, right? Okay, table set up. It is crooked. Okay, so now I need to convert everything to milliliters. I do not have to convert the first one because it's already in milliliters. You don't need to change it. 600 milliliters. But 2 liters is how many milliliters? 1 liter is 1,000. 2 liters is 2,000. And then 1.5. So 1 liter is 1,000. Half of another is 500. So 1,000 plus 500 is 1,500 milliliters. Add them together to find the total. How much water does she have in all? So stack them by place value. Can you see? Yes, you can see. Okay, 2,000 plus 1,500 plus 600, 0 plus 0 plus 0, 0 plus 0 plus 0, 0 plus 5 plus 6, 5 plus 6 is 11. Regroup, there's my comma. 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. Okay, that's how much water she has total. Ms. Tam has 4,100 milliliters of water. Star, star. Number 4. Okay, Sharon and her cousin make smoothies at a family reunion. Sharon brings 2.5 gallons of milk. Underline or highlight. Her cousin brings 2 quarts of milk. The girls use 8 quarts of milk for the smoothies. How much milk is left? So we're subtracting. And they tell me that 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. That means I need to change that gallon amount into quarts. Okay, so 2.5 gallons of milk times 4. So the 2 gallons by itself is going to be 8, plus the half a gallon is going to be 4. So, no, not 4. Sorry, 1 gallon equals 4 is 2. So 2.5 gallons, right? 8 plus 2. Yep, 10 quarts. Okay, so that's how much Sharon brought. And her cousin just brought 2 quarts. So first I want to figure out how much they brought total. So I'm going to add those together. They brought 12, but then they use 8 quarts for the smoothies. So 12 minus 8 that they used is 4 quarts. 4 quarts, not 4 gallons. That's tricky. So it's A. Give yourself a star. Last problem. Number 5. Centered, centered. Okay. Rob has 6 quarts of apple cider for the fall fair. 6 quarts. Okay, he pours all the cider into glasses to set on picnic tables. He pours 6 fluid ounces of cider into each glass. How many glasses of cider does Rob set on the tables? Show your work. So I need to change that quarts into cups first and then into ounces. Okay, so 6 quarts equals, well, 1 quart is 4 cups. So 6 quarts times 4 equals 24 cups. So that's how much apple cider he has, 24 cups. Then 24 cups changed to ounces is going to be the 24 times 8, because 1 cup is 8 ounces. 24 will be times 8, and that's how many ounces he's going to have total. You got to do that on the side though. 24 times 8, 4 times 8 is 32. That 2 is really a 20. 20 times 8 is 160. 3 plus 6 is 9. Okay, so he has total, I went from 6 quarts to 192 ounces. Fluid ounces, same thing. Okay, and then still not done because he pours all that 192 ounces into glasses that each glass holds 6 ounces. So I have to do 192 divided by 6 to figure out how many glasses that would be. And thankfully I have scratch paper. Sorry if I'm covering up your problem. There's your problem. Pause it. Area model. Okay, I didn't have space. 192 divided by 6. 6 can't go to 1, but it can go into 19. 3 times without being too many. There's a number I didn't use. So really I can take out 30 groups of 6 from 192. 30 times 6 is 180. Not done. Move that over. 6, I can take out 2 groups of 6 from 12. 2 times 6 is 12. No remainder. Add up your partial quotients on the top. 32. Okay, so that means he has 32, whoa, not a Q, glasses of cider. Okay, give yourself a star and another star for your sentence, and you're done. Okay, next page we're not doing right now, but it is the last session from this. Oh no, it's not. My bad. This is a 5-session lesson. So 29 has this session 4, but it also has session 5. So we've got more to do. How lucky for us. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Adios.